Cam, one of my favorite quotes you just reminded me of, and it's the "Why remember something I can look up." Was one of my favorite quotes. It's like, I don't have enough space. It's in a book somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean there's a famous story about Einstein being asked a question about something.
Einstein quote. Yeah.
Or he's like, I don't know, I'll go and find my Dirac
Yeah.
textbook and look it up. He's smarter than me.
Yeah.
I always call this my outboard brain.
Yeah. There's a great Saturday morning breakfast cereal strip that I think he did when his child was born, talking about like, you know, you're like 2 days old, but in a certain sense, you're as old as our written history, because you are an inheritor of all this knowledge that you don't have to go and rediscover. So you're both like 2 days old and 10,000 years old, because you can just step into this long continuity of knowledge.
Welcome to my last 3 months.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
everything right now is about the new changes to the BC curriculum in schools, and how there's the big debates of like, why are we so focused on content when the content is such a thing that a student can go, the answer is this.
Right.
Instead, we need to be focused on the competencies and like the big ideas of what they're trying to learn to teach people to be active, scientific students, and like people who can ask and answer a question and
like
do things and know things, as opposed to the focus being on specifically you need to know the last 400 years and every event that has happened in them, right?
Well, I imagine like that's gone from like a competency for knowledge to one for media literacy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the purpose of schools is to teach people to learn, I mean, that's more important. Learning how to learn is something that will assist you your entire life, whereas the facts that you learn are going to change throughout. Like, I can't count the number of facts that I have learned, scientific facts that have changed since I learned them.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I was reading my seventh edition biology textbook when I was in my undergrad. Apparently they're at edition 14 of that same book. I was like, this is a heavy book.
I can't tell you the number of times that I walked into an organic chemistry lecture, well, 3 times, and was told, okay, we've got a new textbook. It's the last organic textbook you will ever need to buy. It's outstanding. It's $300, but it is the ultimate organic chem textbook.
Next year. Okay,
that last textbook, garbage. We listened to your feedback about it. It's bad. Here, buy this new one. And I'm like,
Yeah, don't worry. It's also $300. We wouldn't want you to underpay.
Yeah.
And it will be the last textbook you ever buy.
I went through 2.5 years of university not buying a single textbook.
Did you steal them?
No, I just didn't buy them. Like I didn't go get them at all. I did marketing courses where I didn't buy the textbook for the entire thing, and I got this is Stay 9 system. I got 7s and 8s in that class. I did very well. I just showed up, listened to the lecture, read the notes that were included with whatever, like the slides and whatnot. And I just was like, okay, a lot of this just seems to be basic inferences based on things that you would do to appeal to people versus like things you wouldn't. And I cruised, I had to buy one textbook at one point because the prof was like, hey, so I'm going to assign you problems out of the textbook. I'm like, well, that's $180 down the drain, but fine. And my parents were like, we'll buy your textbooks. I'm like, yeah, but don't. I just want to see how I can do with this. Got my degree.
Well, yeah, someone in chat asked about calculus textbooks,
Yeah.
which are revised every couple of years to reorder the order of problems.
So you can't just work off of old.
Yeah, you can't work off old textbooks because your prof will give you an assignment and they're like, I don't know, answer questions or do problems 1, 4, 7, and 14 for homework. Yeah. And if you've got an older version of the textbook, then
you're all the wrong ones.
I had a prof, it was actually a chemistry prof, but it was like basic chemistry that's not really going to change that much. And so she, when she would assign problems for the textbook, she actually went back at least 5 or 6 editions for numbering problems because she was so adamant that this was garbage.
That's someone with morals.
And I just really appreciated that a lot of my profs wrote their own textbooks.
Yeah,
that's
I
shows a dedication to teaching.
Yeah,
I appreciate that almost every one of my profs made us not have to buy a textbook this year, which was
nice.
super awesome. Knowing here are some readings, we'll give you readings, we'll give you articles that are available in the UVic library that you can go get for free and stuff like that. And it's been really nice.
My accounting prof wrote his own textbook, and the one he assigned to us was like the 8th edition or 7th edition or whatever. So I bought the 7th. This is my first year. So when I bought that, I'm like, okay, and I work on some things in it, but I barely cracked it. And then I go to sell it at Subtext. And when I showed up to sell it, I found out that he had just released the 8th edition. And I'm like, oh, I get it. I see why you do this. Because this is how you're making money as well, is selling textbooks every year to students. That's something I didn't appreciate, is when they do things like that.